used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
Good morning. Welcome back to Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. Coming to you tonight from Burlington, New Jersey. Movie theater I've never been to before. The Regal Cinemas, Burlington. I had a little bit of a drive here, 40-minute drive, but we're going to check out a movie I never heard of until this week called Bloody Axe Wound. It's playing in very limited theaters. I love the look of this theater. Very old school Regal. This movie trailer looks interesting, so let's check this out. Got some Nosferatu and Fire Inside posters. I'll say this, the look of this theater is very classic Regal. Looks very much like some of the old school Regals in my neighborhood. Very cool. And we are headed to Theater 12, now seating. Bloody Axe Wound. I have to open this with one hand. I think we have a private screening. Yep. I'm the only one here. And we are back. I've just seen the movie Bloody Axe Wound, and well, let's talk about it. I had to drive to see this movie, as you know. I had a 40-minute drive to New Jersey to watch this film. It wasn't playing anywhere near me. And the question is, was it worth the drive? I didn't enjoy the movie. I didn't enjoy the movie. So you could say, well, it wasn't worth the drive. But I would still argue that it was worth the drive, and I'll tell you why. As my friend J Philly Retro of the J Philly Retro channel always says, in regards to thrifting, when he goes out to a thrift store or some such store, he always says, you don't know until you go. And that's the truth. You don't know until you go. And the movie may have been phenomenal. And if I didn't take the drive, I would have missed it. Of course, I would have seen it eventually on streaming. Maybe. Maybe. But if I saw it on streaming and it was great, I would have been very, very annoyed that the first time I saw it was on streaming and not on the big screen. Because I like to see these movies on the big screen. And I can't tell you how many movies I experienced at home for the first time ever that I regret that was my first experience. This past year, Hundreds of Beavers comes to mind. Hundreds of Beavers is a movie I would have loved to experience on the big screen. It wasn't playing anywhere near me. I didn't get that option. Very disappointing. So, yeah, I don't mind that I took the drive out and walked away disappointed. I would rather do that than not have done that and then later on watch the movie and said, that was genius. Why didn't I see that in the movies? That's just me, though. That said, this was not a great theatrical experience either. Let me tell you something. This movie was set with a 9:45 start time. 9:45. Now I'm looking at my watch. I know I have a bit of a drive, and I know I'm not going to be there by 9:45. I knew I was going to get there a little bit closer to 10. But that's okay. Regal Cinemas has commercials and trailers in front of the movie. It generally takes 20 to 30 minutes between the start of commercials and the end of trailers and the actual start time of the movie. If you look at the runtime, if you look at a start time at a Regal theater, it usually means you have a 30-minute window. And I wasn't even going to be 30 minutes. I was going to be a little bit late, but I'm looking at it and thinking, well, I'm going to be maybe 15, 20 minutes late, but that's okay. I got that buffer time. I drive out there, get there earlier than I thought. Like I made really good time. and I get into the theater, and it's past 9:45 start time for the show. I'm the only one there. I'm the only one. I mean, you saw the theater footage. I'm the only one who showed up for this movie. And again, you saw the theater footage. Nothing was running. No commercials were running. No trailers. Screen lights were on. Screen was blank. And I started looking at my clock, and it's 10 o'clock. 10:05. Nothing. So I get up. I go to the usher. I say, "Hey, I'm in a 9:45 movie." I said, "Now, I figured, I knew I wasn't going to get here at 9:45, but I figured there's going to be trailers, there's going to be commercials. You haven't even started the trailers and the commercials yet. It's now 10:05." So he calls someone on his radio, and I go back to my seat, and I'm sitting in the back row. I always sit in the back row. And next thing I know, the projection booth, the window of the projection booth opens up, and a woman sticks her head through the window in the projection booth and says, "What time's your show start?" I said, 9:45. She says, "What time is it now?" 10:15. She closes the window. Commercials start. Commercials, trailers, movie. They didn't start any of it until 10:15 for a 9:45 showtime. Which begs the question, since you're already so late starting the movie, why didn't you just skip the commercials? Why didn't you just skip the trailers? You were supposed to play them a half hour ago. A half hour ago. Unbelievable. I mean, what if I didn't get up and say something? You just weren't going to play the movie? Did you not know you had a movie to play? Like, it boggles the mind. It all makes me appreciate my home theater, the Regal Warrington Crossing. It really makes me appreciate that theater, because that is a wonderful theater. Well run, well organized, clean. I talked about the mouse infestation at the King of Prussia Regal. My home theater is so good. And I don't think I ever appreciate how good it is until I have these experiences. But to the management at Regal Warrington, if you're watching, I tip my hat to you guys. You guys do a phenomenal job. Maybe you want to call the staff at Burlington and tell them how it's done. All right. And here we are 5 minutes in. I haven't even talked about the movie yet. I apologize. This I had to mention that theater experience because it was unbelievable. Okay, bloody axe wound. First thing I see is the words Shudder original, and my heart sank. I didn't know this was a Shudder original, and my first thought was, "Oh my God, Shudder originals suck." I'm wrong. I'm wrong, because I remembered one of my favorite films of last year, Late Night with the Devil, also was a Shudder original. I forgot about that, but I can't think of a whole lot of Shudder originals I've enjoyed, Late Night with the Devil being an exception. This is a horror comedy about a town where a serial killer named Roger Bloodcut, who he hacks up teens like a Jason Voorhees. He runs a video store. He films his own murders. Like when he goes out and kills the kids, he films his own murders, turns them into movies, rents them out. The video store's struggling. It's in danger of going out of business. He knows he's got to get a new movie out there. He's got a teenage daughter, played by AP Bio's Sarah Arambulo. If you ever watched AP Bio, she played the scene-stealing role of Grace, one of the funniest characters on the show. Really, really funny character. You've never seen AP Bio. It was a Peacock original, now streaming on Netflix. Netflix actually got the show, licensed it from Peacock. And I think a lot of people are discovering it for the first time now. And enjoy. If you've never seen AP Bio, really funny show. Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is the star. Great show. And Sarah Arambulo as Grace steals every scene she's in. She is like the funniest character. She's this bright, happy, super cheerful young girl who has this really dark streak. And every time this dark streak like comes through, you're like, oh damn, you gotta watch it, man. She's great. She's so good on this show. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, best known from Supernatural, Sam and Dean Winchester's dad. He's also known for The Comedian and Watchmen and The Walking Dead, of course. He makes appearances in this film. And Molly Brown, who is the new Deb Morgan on Dexter Original Sins, she's in the film too. So basically, Sarah Aramboulo is the daughter of Roger Bloodcut. She wants to take over the family business. She wants to be the mass murderer. And he announces his next movie is called Son of Bloodcut. Son of Bloodcut. He doesn't have a son. He has a daughter. And she's insulted because he's training one of the guys who works in his video store to be his successor. And she's like, whoa, Dad, what about me? I want to be the successor. I'm the next generation of Bloodguts. And he's like, you can't do it. You're a girl. No one's going to be afraid of a young girl. You're not going to scare the teenagers. They're not going to be afraid of you. And she really wants to prove herself. So she changes the title of the film from Son of Bloodcut to Spawn of Bloodcut, and she starts on her murder spree. Except there's a twist. The teenage girl she's supposed to kill, Molly Brown from Dexter, she falls in love with her. And that's the premise. And I watched the trailer for this. Looked really, really funny. The problem is it's a funny concept. The movie itself, I don't think I laughed once. I really don't think I laughed once. If I did, only once. It's really a letdown, this film. And the problem is, as a horror film, it doesn't really work because it's a comedy. You're not really... the horror is secondary. I mean, if you think about the plot too much, it doesn't make any sense. The whole video store angle... okay, he's filming all these murders. He's killing the kids. Okay. Well, don't people go to his video store and rent the movies? They would know who's doing it if they rented the movies, right? Also, we never see a video camera. He's supposedly filming these murders, but who's filming them? There's no cameraman. There's a lot of things in this movie that just don't make sense. That's okay. You can overlook them if the movie's funny because it's a comedy. And when the comedy fails, all those other little plot holes are just very, very noticeable. I'm very disappointed in this. I thought, because I thought I'd seen like every movie that was out right now. Like, I'm like, okay, all the big movies that are out, I've seen them all. And then suddenly this one little weirdo movie pops up and I go, what the hell's Bloody Axe Wound? And I watched the trailer and I'm like, oh, there might be this one little hidden gem that we didn't know about this year. No, no, this is a Shudder original. It'll probably be within the month, I would guess, streaming on Shudder. It's already, I think it had a 1 week run in the theaters, which I think is typical of Shudder films. I don't think like It's a Wonderful Knife. I think that was only in theaters for like a week. Late Night with the Devil might have been a little bit longer because it was so well received. I don't know, but this will probably be very soon on Shudder. I sadly cannot recommend it. I wish it could. It's a good cast. It's a funny premise. It just ultimately is not a funny film, and I was very disappointed. All right, that's my review of Bloody Axe Wound. I wish I had nicer things to say about it. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. I know we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.